People First Language by Tim Walker. So just to get started on this one, why People First Language? For me, this is very personal. So as a father to a son with hearing loss, ADHD, and a complex medical history, using People First Language shows respect to him and his story. So if anything out of this, that is where I come from when I start speaking about People First Language. He is my son first and all those other things second. What is People First Language? It communicates to others the other person's name, title, or relationship. So their name, Tim, title, dad, relationship, husband, spouse, father, son, any of those things prior to their descriptors or disabilities. It places emphasis on the human element versus on the disability or weaknesses of the human. Demonstrates a purposeful change in how people are viewed by a person or organization. So being purposeful by changing that language in a policy, changing that language in what it is you're saying, really shows that you're valuing the people. It also transcends disability. So this is something else that is kind of new and recent. It transcends disability when we are considering students who are also working through their gender identity, dealing with medical conditions, or students of other ethnicities and religions, or populations of other ethnicities and religions. So no longer saying, what about the blank kids? It's what about the students who are this? What about the students who are that? Some examples of some non-People First Language as well as some People First Language. So you could see on the left column, most of those all discuss putting the disability first or the descriptor first versus identifying it for what it is. So the student identifying as transgender, the student who uses a wheelchair, the student with autism, student with diabetes, student with a congenital birth defect, the accessible bathroom, the accessible classroom, or the classroom that teaches the students with IEPs, right? Student who is African American, or students who are African American. I would say other examples in my school where this sometimes is kind of weird as how it takes place is a lot of our organizations that cater to or are targeted at minority students oftentimes don't use People First Language. So we have the Black Student Union. That's one of those things where I think that's just a common thread that has been passed down for a long time. We also have our the JSU, a Jewish student union. So different things like that where I find that the descriptor is coming first versus this person. I think that some of them are just some traditional things that have been passed down. At the same time, though, I don't know that it's exactly the best use of trying to move away from People First, or move towards People First Language, I should say. So looking at how to change those names and do that in a way to where it still conveys their purpose, but without diminishing what it is they're trying to accomplish. In the end, People First Language ensures the human is in the middle of the conversation. So that's a picture of my son Preston, in all things. And so for me, when it comes to People First Language, it definitely keeps people in the middle of the conversation when it comes to policy, procedure, and processes. These are my references. Thank you very much.